Israel's engineering a famine in Gaza as part of a strategy to relocate its residents to third countries. 19 Gazans starved to death on Sunday, revealing that the level of hunger in Gaza is reaching lethal levels. Israel imposed a full blockade on the Gaza Strip on March 2nd, restricting the entry of aid almost entirely. Now, the only way Gazans can get food is by going to aid checkpoints controlled by the Israeli military. But so far, 92 Palestinians have been shot and killed at these checkpoints, and videos emerged showing soldiers manning these checkpoints, firing at Palestinian civilians and laughing. In other words, Palestinians in Gaza are now having to choose whether to go to a checkpoint where dozens of people are being shot or starving to death. It's soon projected that Gaza will enter Phase 5 of the IPC's food security classification, the highest level on this internationally recognized famine scale. And the most unbelievable part is that there's plenty of aid sitting around on trucks right outside the Gaza border that's unable to enter because Israel won't allow it. So this is really the crucial thing we need to remember when we're talking about this famine in Gaza, that Israel is doing it to depopulate Gaza. From the outset of the genocide, Israeli politicians have said over and over that their goal is to depopulate Gaza and to resettle the land like they had prior to 2005. They held conferences calling for Gaza settlement, said it on TV, in their parliament. The March 2nd blockade that they implemented was part of a plan put forward by an Israeli general called the General's Plan, whose ultimate goal was to starve Gazans to the point where they wanted to leave. We covered this extensively in a video called Israel's Real Goal, Ethnically Cleanse Gaza to Build Settlements, but the point is, Israel wants a famine to happen. The head of the Israeli Mossad, Israel's equivalent to the CIA, was just in Washington, D.C., lobbying our government to support the transfer of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from Gaza to other Arab and Islamic countries as refugees. Israel claims to be in talks over these transfers with Ethiopia, Libya, and even Indonesia, which is 5,500 miles away from Gaza. Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, aggressively pushed for this plan in both of his visits to Washington, D.C. Donald Trump has himself expressed support for such a plan, and both he and members of his family have talked about developing Gaza into a beachfront resort after the Palestinians are gone. The famine in Gaza is getting almost no news coverage because, unlike airstrikes or gunfire, famine is a silent form of warfare. But it's deadly all the same. And the fact that Israel is not only engineering a famine, but using famine as a weapon of war and using it to depopulate a territory it plans to settle should be the top story in every single newspaper in the world.